Hello, good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells.
I'm Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
And I try to keep up with Lauren. But you don't have to keep up with us. We'll be using kettlebells, but you could use your body weight at today's starting strength, body weight, and kettlebell practice. Check in with the breath, check in with those wrists, and all those small components of your body that will help you stay strong in your exercise pursuits and in your favorite lifestyle pursuits. Let's start.
Let's.
At the hands,
move over.
Move over. This is my side. This is your side.
Over.
Got it. Open up those fingertips wide and lace the hands together. Then small circles. Nice and controlled. Do your elbows flare out like chicken wings? If so, contain them in nice and tight. Switch your direction if you haven't already and mobilize those wrists with some nice wrist rolls here. 3, 2, and then relax. Extend the arms at the elbows with the palms forward. Start low or 45 degrees or so at the shoulders. From here, take the backs of the hands towards the ears. The hands will turn over at that point, palms down. Then turn the palms over, bring them towards the backs of the ears, brush along the tops of the shoulders, and repeat one last time. Supinating or turning the palms up, brush the ears, and through. Alternate the direction. Palms to the floor as we touch across the neck or the tops of shoulders, and then opening up, palms to ceiling. Turn over, across, maybe switch which hand goes on top or below, and then one more time here, same thing, nice and groovy. Open that up, and extend, and then relax. Wiggle it. At the shoulder blades now, elevate the shoulders, protract the shoulders rounding forward, pull down, retract. One more time in that same circle. Elevate or up, protract or forward, down to press, and retract. Switch your direction, down, forward, up, retract, down, forward, up, retract, and let gravity take care of the rest, and rest. Shaking that out. Now extend your arms out to the side. Here, roll the shoulder, and then pull it back. Roll that shoulder, pull it back, and then maybe add a little bit of a slide in there. Return to center, and nice and groovy, empty that pop can, slide that rib cage, keep the hips stable, and for 1 or 2 more repetitions, feels like I'm a little close to Lauren there. Last 1 or 2, and then return to center and down. Now at the head neck, keep your position of your feet or accommodate any position comfortable for you. And at the head neck, start with a rotation. I'll look towards Lauren over my right shoulder. And then chin tuck towards the clavicle or collarbone to center. And then return looking forward. Alternate your direction, so a rotation to the left as chin scrape along the clavicle. When the chin's in line with that sternum or the center of the rib cage, reset looking forward. Same thing, rotate first to the right, but this time look up the wall towards the ceiling and then trace to center and pull the crown high and chin low. Last time, add our rotation, climb up the wall, nice and slow to center, and then pull the crown high, returning to the center there. Shaking that out. A little bit of a fun drill today as we get into the hips. Let's stand on a single leg. Borrowing from our ballet practice here, let's pull up and hold a balance. And then could you open up that hip, close that hip, and nice and loosey-goose style, challenge that stability on the one leg and that mobility on the other. In and out, in and out. Not too much of this back and forth in the top. Cramp your glute into the floor. Last repetition. Close the ankle to the knee or so, and then underneath, or let it fly. Making
my
sure
favorite drill in ballet was when she goes open, 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 fly.
full send.
Don't bend your other knee.
Before you full send, check out in the small ranges here. Promote the balance and stability on one, and that mobility in that elevated hip. Nice and controlled again. You probably have a preferred leg to do this on. This is my more challenging leg. I want to hike my hip, but what we really want is the hips to stay level and groove out those shapes in the hips. From here, we'll do one series of our fold today, but going forward, prioritizing our hinge. That is a hinge. The shins are vertical, the bum is back. Beautiful hinge. But first, let's do a nice little fold. Pushing your back against an apparatus like a chair or a wall helps standardize that your hips will not go further back. So using that lateral door frame as a reference, as Lauren folds forward, tight in a phone booth, the hips stay stacked over the feet. Take your time, fold forward, nice and control. Breathe along the way. When you're at your safe depth or the deepest you can go, take a breath in, exhale, and then pull yourself back up. Squeeze your buttocks nice and tall. Repeat one more. Let's fold, let's bend, and then use this as the idea as we pursue the hinge later in the practice. So flexing the spine, the hips are staying stacked over top of those feet. Hopefully you feel that tension into the ground through the feet, the hamstrings and calves. Take a breath at your deep place. And then pull ourselves back up to tall. And add that little wiggle. From here, a little shake is always good. And then let's get to the floor. This time, let's use the hinge. Hallmarks of that hinge again include feet just outside of those hips with feet rooted heavy into the floor. Set up the hip hinge. Do you feel the crease set in at the hip flexor here? Are the shins vertical? Hold for a second, then tip forward, fingertips down first, and then here we are on all fours. Turning on the abs slowly in the isometric way, meaning a lot of work, but no movement, start to pull the hands and the knees together. And hold for 5, 4. Can you breathe over top of that intensifying contraction? And relax. Woo. Then do the opposite as to press the hands forward and drive the knees back. Keep the tailbone in that neutral shape. Hold for time, core brace, and you're breathing. Relax. Perhaps the same thing, or elevate the knees. Set it up with nice tension pulling in, and then lift the knees. And for 5 seconds, pull those hands to the knees, making sure you're breathing. We're both shaking, quivering here. And then slowly transition to press the other way. Reset the knees if you need for sure. And for 4, hands pressing forward, feet pushing back onto those knees. Push away.
Push away.
Woo. That's a little sweat maker. And then in a lunge stance out front. We'll revisit this position as we get into our lunge here today. Typically, this hip, my left, Lauren's left, would be hiked. For now, I want us to press this front leg into the ground and pull this leg on the ground up into our hip. Woo! That hopefully feels like this lateral bum hamstring on this front leg, and then that quad hip flexor psoas on this back leg here. And then relax. Let's do that one more time with rest. Leveling the hips here, pressing through the front and pretending at first, and then in a lunge later, we'll get up. Hold for 5, 4, 3, and then coast away. Let's open up that leg to the side. Are the hips forward? Shoulders forward, including the head. From here, start to press down through that leg facing laterally and pull up on the other side. Create tension for 5,
I found
4,
this one very challenging.
and we're growing up this wall right at the side here, and then relax. Take a moment, perhaps a posterior tuck in the hips just to make sure the load is in the hips and not the spine. This leg presses down. This leg here, when I'm slapping, touching, slurping it up, pulling up into that hip for about 10 seconds.
Oh.
I'm going.
I've already
Are
started.
you going? For like 5, 4, 3. Coast away the tension. Return that leg to the front. Bring it underneath. And then switch to the front. Level the ship, the hips, bowl a punch, whatever analogy works for you. And then press down in the front and pull up off that back leg. Hold for time, squeeze your butt cheek, and then coast that tension away. It might hike, so reset if we need. And then from here, press down on the front leg and pull up on the back and hold for 5, 4, breathing throughout and relax. Take that front leg out towards the side as in our get up. And from here, personally, I feel a lot of work on these adductor muscle groups right here, but it'll press down through that lateral leg, pull up on the other side and hold for 3, 2, coast, relax, little hula to wiggle it out. And for one more time, press down, pulling up, holding for 5, 4, 3, coast to center, underneath. And I'll throw it over to Lauren as she helps us familiarize with the get up in a little mobility version of the TGU.
Let's lie down.
Your turn.
On our backside. On our backside. We're going to do this today for all the lefties out there. Let's do our left arm across our chest first, and then we'll all have the same cues. So with our left arm across our chest, our left leg bent, our right leg is nice and straight on the floor, and our right arm out at our side about 45 degrees. From here, drive that left foot into the floor, sending energy up the hamstrings and into the butt cheek. Stay, and then gently relax. Repeat again, pressing a little bit more that cheek actually starts to leave the floor, and then relax. This time we'll press so hard into that, and then we'll pull on our elbow to our nice, tall, proud sit. From that position, let's think about this shoulder down here. Are you shrugged on the beach? Do that for a second, and then press the floor away and nice, proud shoulder. One more time. Chill in, press away, engage that lat. Now, as we find our hand here, I want you to keep that shoulder packed. Find your hand, squishing the bug. Check in, that elbow straight. From here, just take your head and gently look at your hand on the floor, and then rotate that head up to the ceiling. And one more time, looking at the hand on the floor, and then looking back up the ceiling. Let's keep our eyes on the ceiling. Press into the floor with our left leg and our right hand, bridging to lift, sweeping our right leg underneath. Stay here. We're going to close up our shoulders to the floor, rotating that upper body closed. As far as you can even over-rotate that a little bit, but make sure your head's in line with your sternum. Then press the floor away and rotate open. As you're rotating open, stop right here. Keep your head in line with that centered chest. Close back up one more time. And then one more time, press the floor away, rotate open. Then press the floor away to actually extend your hips. Front foot moves. Now, just like what Ian practiced earlier, let's drive down with this foot, our front foot, our left, lift up with our right, and hover our right knee off the floor. Ready, set, hover for 4, 3, 2, soft land. We're going to hover for 1 second, press to stand. Ready, hover, press to stand. Great. All the way back down, leg you can touch, drop back. 5-second descent with control. 3, 2, soft land. Front leg opens, add that upper body, rotate, chop your hip, hinge. Hand finds the floor, shoulders stacked, shoulders packed. Right leg sweeps, proud shoulder. To the elbow, don't get dumpy. Now press away from the elbow and then pull back up. Tricked ya. 2 more. Press away from the elbow, pull back up. This time all the way to the floor. Nice control down, right leg stays heavy. Soft landing. Nice. Throw your left arm away. Right arm crosses the body, similar but the other side. Right leg bent, left leg out, right arm across. Drive your right foot into the floor, fire up your hamstrings and your glute. Relax. Do it again. Press so hard that hip starts to extend, the cheek starts to leave the floor. Relax. One more time, drive. Press, pull on left elbow, tall sit. Check in. Slump. Don't be slumpy. Proud. Engage your lat. Slumpy. Press the floor away. Keep that press away. Find your hand with a nice straight elbow. Head, neck again. Gentle look at your hand. Gentle look to the ceiling. Gentle look to the hand. And back to the ceiling. Drive that right foot and left leg into the floor as you lift and sweep. From this tripod position, rotate closed. Shoulders square to the floor. Keep that elbow straight. Press away. Rotate. Check out where your head is. In line with your sternum and your mid-chest. Rotate closed. As you're rotating closed, keep that shoulder proud, elbow straight. One last time, rotate open. From that open position, pressing the floor away. Hip front leg moves. Now, drive down with righty. Pull up with lefty. Hover. Go. 5, 4, 3, 2. Soft land. Hover, but then lift off. Hover. Press through. Get back to the floor via the get up. Touch. Control down. Front foot opens. Rotate upper body. Hinge to chop. Stack your shoulders. Sweep the leg to your back. 3 of them. Control down. Pull back up. Control down. Press back up. Last time, all the way to the floor. Left leg stays heavy. Oh.
Ooh.
And we're here.
Ooh. Lauren warmed up those core muscles. Let's take one more time to check those out. On our backside, in our hip bridge. With the chin tuck, hands could be extended at the hips, or out to the side, or like a kettlebell swing, straight out in front of the chest. I'll start with them on the ground. Cramping the glutes, drive the feet into the floor, and roll up the spine, one vertebrae at a time, fully extending the hips in the bridge. Once we're here, for 10 seconds, amplify the tension with our butt squeeze, pressing feet into the floor, and for 5 more seconds, the abs could take that punch. Hold your pose, relax the tension, and then cat-cow version here, articulate down the spine, maintain the chin tuck, and the back of the belly button touches before the buttocks, and relax. One more time. Drive the feet into the floor. Cramp the glutes as we extend the hips. Slight posterior tip, extending to our high plank bridge here. With the feet grouped, knees pulling together, butt cheeks cramped, full squeeze for 5 more seconds. Brace those cores, shake a little bit, hold the pose, and then nice and control, cat-cow tension, articulate down the spine, maintain that chin tuck as we slowly come down. From here, let's roll over to our front position. In a plank, elbows, as Lauren's showing, or the hands like me. Pack the shoulders and tuck the hips underneath. Assemble in your planks position, hips higher than ever thought in phys ed. Then tuck them under, and like before in the hover, pull the hands to the feet. Cramp those buttocks. Could your abs take a punch? And for 3 more seconds, feel tension, relax, knees to the floor. Take a breath, and we'll repeat that one last time. As we go forward with today's practice in the deadlifts and swings, that core tension, safe and super strong. Last time, elbows like Lauren, hands like me, assemble in a low tension plank position. Tuck under the hips to engage the abs, and then, whoop, I just heard Lauren do it, 10 seconds of pulling the feet and hands together. Are the kneecaps fully straightened, extended with the quads? Are you shaking? 3 and 2, and then relax. Knees down, no rules. Let's get up.
No rules.
And
Hinge.
grab a hinge. Okay. Kettlebell Hinges, says Lauren. So there's our hinge, and extend. Lauren has her kettlebell off to the side here. I'm going to go to the back to get mine. Get a light load or the heavy one, but always start light and build our strength and endurance with our grip holds. First, we'll get back to the floor and explore our firing range position.
Well, I guess I didn't have to make a hinge up. Coming down to the floor to firing range.
How?
Hinge,
Okay,
obviously.
hinging.
Chop your hips. Chop your hips. Slowly walk yourself out. Lower down beside your bell. If you'd like a nice push-up down. Ugh. And then from there, we'll be performing our cuddle. Very important move.
Cuddle, cuddle.
From that cuddle position, your bottom hand will grip your bell. Your top hand will cuddle. With 2 hands, roll to your backside. 2-handed press. Once organized with that, get ready. And if you're ready to, you can leave that top hand can leave your bell. So now we have that single arm holding the bell. Our legs are set up like our get up. Our other arm is out to the side. The shoulder holding the bell is packed in its socket. The elbow is straight. The bell is resting on the fuzzy side of our arm.
Fuzzy.
And it might be fuzzier. And we can feel that weight into the back of our arm. Hopefully we just get used to that. We have a nice straight wrist. It's packed, holding for 3, 2 hands on. Bell pulls down, keeping that vertical forearm. And then roll to your side and cuddle to put it away. Come on up. Move your body or the bell. Don't move the bell over your body. And let's do the same thing on the other side. First step of our loaded get up is our firing range. So cuddle, 2 hands roll, 2-handed press. When you're ready, get rid of that second arm. Set up in that get up stance. Shoulder packed like you're juicing an orange in your armpit. Elbow is straight. Wrist is straight. That handle is resting in your hand. You're crushing the grip, but if you did let go, the bell's not going anywhere because it's resting nicely between your thumb and your forefinger. Holding for about 5. Is it a forefinger or a pointer finger?
I would call it pointer.
2, pull the bell down with control. 2 hands cuddle. I don't know where I came up with that.
Lauren's a stickler for those rules today, so let's get up as per our hinge. Establish yourself in your planks or push-ups position, and then from there, walk your legs back. Walk the hands back. When the shins are vertical, are the shoulders stacked over top of those knees and feet, and then press the feet down and out to stand up and shake it out. We'll get right into our next kettlebell hold from the firing range to our suitcase hold at the side. For that, I'll be standing over top of my kettlebell, setting up our hip hinge. With one hand, grip the kettlebell. Looking 6 to 8 feet in front of you with that nice neutral head neck. Take a moment and rotate the upper body towards the ceiling as in Lauren's warm-up. The shoulders are now off square. Pull on that kettlebell a little bit to engage the armpit lat, and then pull yourself to square. Once we're established, repack the shoulder, breath in with a brace, pick it up, move it out to the side, and hold for time. Lauren last day walked around. Maybe I'll do the same thing. Walk around in your space, march on the spot, grip strength, core strength, build relationships with your kettlebell. Hold for 4 more seconds, adjust your feet as you need, then hinging, return the load to where it was, pause, are your shoulders square, then let go, and come up. Reset with a little shake. Alternate to the other side, the hip hinge. Neutral head neck looking a couple feet in front of you, spine stays extended. For now, open up the upper body in a rotation, then pull on the kettlebell to engage the armpit and square up. Then with the added brace, packed grips, core tension up, open your stance or modify as you need. This side is so much harder. It wants to give in to the load. So ask that other side to do strong things to share and support. Hold, maybe march around, and for 5 more seconds here, 4, 3,
I
2.
already did that, but yeah.
Oh, my bad. Good. And then nice and control. Come on back and place it to the floor. And then up barehanded. That's our hinge. This is our kettlebell swing. Just watch. I'll do 3, and then Lauren will do 3.
Oh,
If we set up our hip
I like to
hinge,
just watch.
we could grab on and go 1, 2, 3, and eventually maybe towards 100. Your turn. Same thing. Kettlebell swings. We'll take our time, but using that hinge to power through to stay strong. All right, so before we do that with the ballistic nature of the swing with our kettlebell, let's get used to some of those patterns with our body weight first. As if we're in a plank. Arms out front, shoulders retract. Stiff arms, pull or push, whatever works in your brain, hands towards quads. Then we'll set up the hip hinge with the hands tight to the groin. Then press the feet into the ground. Pause right here. Delay the separation of the forearms from the hip groin. Then float to the top. Repeat 2 more. We're as tall as can be, as plank tension as possible till here. Then we hinge on the hips, pushing the butt back, hands tight to the groin, shoulders in retraction. Then press the feet into the floor, extend those hips, pop it forward, and last one. Work on timing drills or the phases of the kettlebell swing, including arms down first, then set up the hip hinge. Hands stay tight to the groin as you come up, and power with the hips. Reset those arms, give it a little shake, and what kind of hold are we doing next?
Well, I think I'd fancy myself a rack hold.
Excellent.
Standing over top of your bell. 1 foot on either side with that parallel handle to your feet. We're going to use our hip hinge. 1 hand's going to grip, 2nd hand cuddles. Hinge, 1 hand grips, 2nd hand cuddles. Keep this tight to your body as you zip, punch through, and end up in that rack position. Hallmarks, feet a little narrow. Well, I like my feet narrower in this. Hallmarks, vertical forearm, in tight to the body, not resting on your chest, but just beside. If I was lazy, I'd be over here, but I'm not, so I'm pulled up tall, ribs to hips, butt squeezed, abs braced for 4, 3, 2, 2 hands, hinge, keep it tight, bell goes down, up without. Same thing, second side. Use your hinge. Grip your bell. 1, 2, zip, punch through. Adjust your stance as needed. Vertical forearm, tight to body, abs and butts, holding and breathing underneath that shield. Check in with where you're feeling the weight of this bell. It should mainly be on the forearm, not really resting on your bicep. You might feel it a little bit because your biceps are jacked up, but it's not resting there. For 3, 2, 2 hands, keep it tight, hinge down. Boom.
Nice. Other diming drills include the chop and pop. The purpose of this chop and pop is, again, to start with arms out front, elbows bent this time. Stay tall, straighten your elbows. At that moment here, we could hinge back. Then stand up tall with the hands at the sides. And then when we are tall, the hands could come through. Repeat slow for a couple, and we'll pick up the pace. The arms extend at the elbows, and when the hands are in line with the legs, we hinge. Then as we stand up, hands at the sides, and then carry through. Extend the elbows, set up the hinge. Hands stay back till we're tall, and then through. 2 more. Elbows extend, press into the floor to hinge. Stand up to tall. Extend the elbows, press the hips back, stand up. And shake. Chops and pops. 1 more hold for today, that goblet position. We held it here, we held it here, and now it might be a little bit easier as we hold it with 2 hands. Check it out, Lauren.
All right, to get into that goblet, we're going to use our hinge. We'll grip the top of the bell, pull, Re-grip down the sides of the horns. Sounds wild. It's not too bad.
Wild.
Standing over top of your bell again, this time with the bell, careful, Lauren. This time with the bell perpendicular to the feet, handle running as it would. Use your hinge. Grip the top, pack your shoulders, brace your core. You're gonna pull, zipping up your jacket, re-grip down the horns. Now, where is the bell? Off your chest, just in front of you. Ribs to hips, elbows in. Imagine you're holding yourself up at the top of the chin-up bar. Bracing, squeeze your butts, root your feet in the floor, maybe even lift it up to peek through the window. Maybe pull it back down and hold for 5, 3, 2, step to hip width. You'll lightly re-grip to the top and hinge to put the bell down.
Whew.
That's nice.
Let's try that chop and pop one more time, more along the lines of the speed that Lauren was itching to get to in that version. Go slow and learn those phases, but adding that ballistic nature to it will help build our strength and endurance, as well as progressions for other moves with our kettlebell. With your feet standing outside your hips, elbows bent for now. Chop, press back. Pop, extend through. Chop, pop, chop, pop. 3 more. Chop, pop, chop, pop. 1 more. And abs could take
always
that tension. Shake it out.
I just walk around like
and
that.
Relax. As we go forward now, phasing the kettlebell swing. First, it's all about that setup. Show us your funky dance step, Lauren.
With that bell on the floor, put your big toes, or your toes that are long, on the back side of that bell. Now, your feet are pretty close together right now. Pivot on your heel 90 degrees, and then pivot on those toes another 90. Same thing, second side. Pivot heel, pivot toes. I personally like to rock back and forth a couple steps just to get my feet set up. We're not going to swing, so don't worry. We're going to set up. Hip hinge. Shins vertical, hips way back. Hands on bell. Tip your bell onto its belly. Pack your shoulders. Brace your core. Pull that bell, don't move it, but pull the bell towards you for 3, 2, tip it back to its flat side, extend to tall. How'd it feel?
Hamstrings felt it.
Holla,
Felt loaded.
holla. That's right. If we'd like to progress, we'll progress into the hike pass here. Watch. Hinge. Grip. Tip. Pull. Park. Pull. Park. Noticing I never changed heights when I did that. Stayed the same height the whole time. Pulled my zipper. Parked it. I pulled by engaging my lats back to center. Shoulders packed the whole time. We'll go for about 3 if you'd like to join me.
Are you familiar with our I go, you go rep scheme? For this drill, watch Lauren if you're new to this and then join me after, or do with Lauren and pick up some refining tips as I perform after. Lauren will go for her 3 reps of that hike pass. As you can see that chair rail in the back, the head touches it, but we don't stand up. We stay flexed or hinged at that hip there. Nice. And extend. I go or Lauren goes, followed by the me go. Same thing.
Hands on bell. You're in that nice deep hinge position, hips hanging back. Feel the load through hamstring, glutes, and abs as you pull to your zipper, put it back and park it. Pull and park.
That was 3.
That was 3.
Can we do it again?
Yep.
Shake it out in between, rest. We're doing half the amount of repetitions here. So again, we'll follow Lauren, packing and pulling from those armpit lats. The core brace, heavy feet into the floor. 3 reps, park it, and switch.
One more thing to think about is out the back, that bell should be on a little bit of that angle pointed backwards. We don't want it hitting you in the bottom. If it's hitting you in the bottom, out the back, you're flicking your wrists. You're doing this, flick. Don't do that.
Straight.
When you swing, you have no wrists. Your elbows connect through your wrists. You can't bend. All right?
Great. Excellent. That is our setup and the stop swing. Stop swings are so hard to go from 0 to full speed. Very, very challenging. That stop swing, I jumped ahead a little bit.
That was a hike pass.
That was actually our hike pass. This is our stop swing. Lauren will do 2, then I'll do 2. It's one unique repetition of the swing, resetting with the bell on the floor. As you can see, that timing drill comes into play where the bell floats, it comes down, and then we hinge. Float, hinge, return. If you went with Lauren, take some rest as she refines my movement here.
Setting up just as you did before, hands on your bell, pull in that hike pass, hips drive through, plank, hinge, park. I can't even say it that fast. Good. Pop, chop, pop, down. Each time, core braced, strong exhale. Doing it again?
We're doing that one more time. You could do that little dance. Familiarize with your setup. Stay strong in all parts of the swing. Hi-ya, time it down and park. And last repetition, nice power and a park.
One more thing to think about. Those hips are driving back every single time. So even when you stop that bell, the hips are coming all the way back to the start position, placing bell down. Try not to let that hinge get any shallow.
Nice.
Shallow.
The setup, check.
Check.
Then we have the hike pass.
Check.
Check. Stop swings are next, followed by consecutive or continuous swings. Again, today we'll keep our numbers to about 3 in the I go, you go. 3 reps, a continuous swing. If you're feeling that's a little bit of advanced for you, go back to that chop and pop or the shadow timing drill and focus on staying tall for as long as possible and always extended on that spine.
I did my 3. Team Ian, 3 to 5 swings here. Hips drive back, hips come through. You can hear his strong exhale matching that hip snap to be able to brace the core at the top. At the top of that swing, it's the core that stops you, not a lean back.
You got it. The glutes are squeezing heavily in the back, abs in the front to meet in the middle in that tall planks position. 3 reps, bang. Yep. That breathing match that Lauren alluded to there.
I did 5.
Woo, setting the bar high.
Well, you were talking about stuff. I thought it was important.
All right,
going.
Team Ian, we're going for our 5 as well here.
3, you kind of just get in your rhythm too.
I agree.
5-ish swings. Think about that breath this time. Exhale match. Exhale brace. Nice butts and abs. Through and park. Whew, very good.
Awesome. Put your kettlebells off to the side. We'll finish with one more bodyweight series here. We like squats too. Hinges, vertical shins, hips back above those knees. Squats, hallmarks include getting nice and low. Keep it to 3. 3 squats, 1 push-up. 3 squats, 2 push-up. And for the last set, 3 squats, maybe 3 push-ups. Ready to go?
I think so.
Squat stance. Pull yourself into your low position. That's 1. And core brace. Extend tall. Pull low. That's 2. To tall. Last 1. Pause. Walk yourself out.
It's okay.
Get yourself situated with a training partner. And then either from the knees or the high plank, 1 push-up. Core brace. Yep. Press. Then assemble your feet in your squat. Walk back to the squat position and stand up. Let's call that 1. Pull ourselves down. And up. This is our 3rd. Let's walk out.
Whoop. Lauren doesn't do.
Walk out.
There we go.
High planks position. Perhaps 2 push-ups. Breath in. Yep. 1. And 2. Feet in the squat position. Walk yourself back. Stand up. Squat. 1. Pull down. And 2. Last one down. Stay. Walk out. 1 last time. 1 or 2 or 3 push-ups. That's 1. Yep. And 2. And last one. 3. And then open your stance. Walk back to that campfire squat and stay here as you finish your coffee. Or come on up. Shake it out and just
Wipe your brow.
wipe your brow a little bit. This is our beginner bodyweight and kettlebell skill practice. Last night on Tuesdays at 4:05. Oh my goodness, it was intense last night. We did 90 of those kettlebell swings. We did presses, we did get-ups under load. We use this practice to refine our strength and our strategies for the killer class that Lauryn likes to provide on Tuesdays. We hope you join us at all of our experiences online with your membership. Book a consultation if you have any specific questions. barsandbells.com/become-a-member and /register. Check it out. Love to share with you. My name's Ian.
I'm Lauryn.
Thank you again. Stay strong, train soon, and take care. Goodbye.
And eat your vegetables.